What's up, everybody? We are back with another match reaction. We are being brought to you thanks to our friends at Surfshark. By the way, 83% off, 3 months free with the Anfield Agenda link or the code Anfield Agenda at checkout. Delighted to say that I am joined by, I'm assuming, a very hungover Mr. Paddy Murphy and a very up early and sprightly Mr. Kyle from Nothing But Reds. Come to you first, Kyle. How the hell are you? How's Steve? How's life?
Life's good, man. I was trying to stay awake during that second half, I got to be honest with you. But yeah, I got up early, tried to prep for everything, did our Sunday stream, and then luckily we were able to keep a clean sheet because Alisson Becker is the greatest keeper in the world and came away with 3 points. That's what matters.
Yeah, I think it was fair to say, Paddy, a bit better performance on Thursday night when you were at Anfield against Leicester than we've seen today, but a win is a win.
Yeah, absolutely. I echo what Kyle said. I genuinely struggled staying conscious for that second half. But yeah, much better performance on Thursday. But yeah, no, listen, the job was done. Burnley's always a tough enough place to negotiate, and to leave with 3 points is always a win.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to hark on about the conditions, Carl, but it looked horrible at Turf Moor there today. Windy, rainy. Yeah, not a great day for free-flowing football.
No, and you saw it with actually the goal when Trent was taking the corner. The wind was just blowing the corner flag and the ball off the line. So that's just miserable to play in. So I give the guys a lot of credit, which kind of could explain the sloppiness of the play. But again, typical 1-0 away at Turf Moor. Burnley are physical. Yeah, just we needed a bit of luck and we got it today. And I think sometimes you need that when you're trying to battle for the title. 3 points, still a game in hand, I believe, on City. So let's keep going.
How did you feel, Paddy, about the starting 11 when you seen it? As I have to say, I didn't want Thiago near the starting 11 because I wanted him protected, not because I didn't want him to play. But I was all right with it, if I'm being honest with you, mate. The old-fashioned front three up top was a bit of a reminiscence of the old days.
Yeah, I mean, I was happy enough. Henderson never really fills me with too much joy when I see him starting. I would have liked to have seen Jota. I was happy no there was no Thiago for obvious reasons. But for me, I wanted to see Luis Diaz again. I thought it was a bit too soon for Mane, to be honest. And I'm sure we'll get into the performances. But, happy enough. Like, we have a lot of good depth, so we were able to bring on players. Like, if we were losing today or drawn today, I'm sure we would have been able to make an impact off the bench. So the squad depth is at its all-time high under Klopp. But, I was happy enough.
Liz telling you to once again hydrate, Paddy. She's always making sure that you're hydrated, Liz. Good old mammy Liz.
I was hydrating a lot in Liverpool, Liz. Don't worry.
Kyle, I want to ask you about Bobby Firmino, mate, because a lot of our chat, and I don't know if this is something you've noticed in your own chat, but he gets an awful lot of stick. I don't think people realise what he does. I thought he was immense today, and defensively, top notch, winning the ball backs, breaking lines. Yes, he's a bit sloppy in possession, but that's always been Bobby.
Yeah, and you'll rarely catch me saying anything bad about Bobby, but I thought he was okay today. I thought everyone kind of played sloppy, but I agree 100% with you that people don't realize what he's able to do on the pitch, his ability to drop deep. He plays in all areas of the field. There was a certain point in the game where we had a few sequences of just one-touch football that all fed through Bobby. And his ability to do quick turns, get it out wide to either Robbo or Mane, whoever's running out wide into the channels and get forward. I think Bobby leads all of those attacks. And I just enjoy watching Bobby play, regardless of, if he gets on the score sheet or not. I just like that center forward role for him. And I just think people disrespect what that role entails. It has a lot of defensive work involved. You don't really get involved too much in the attack in terms of like scoring, but he's always there. He's always making things happen.
I'll come to you, Paddy, on Jordan Henderson, because similar things said about Henderson at the minute. And look, cards on the table, Paddy. He's not in my starting midfield. Most of the time, I'll be honest about that. But I don't know if it was the knock that hampered him after the half-hour mark. You probably remember the challenge he got a yellow for. Yeah. I'm surprised he stayed on the pitch, mate. But your take on Hendo moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, I said it last week on the show. I agree. In my opinion, he's not in my first 11 either. Listen, I love the man. I love the service he's provided to the club. But I've said that if he wasn't the club captain, I don't think he'd be starting as many games. I feel like he starts kind of just out of default sometimes. It wasn't madly impressed with him today. And it's just when we have Henderson playing, there's just a lot to be desired when you have players like Thiago on the bench. the difference in caliber of footballer there is immense. And that's not disrespect to Henderson. That's more of how good Thiago is. But yeah, and on the Firmino one, I didn't think he was too particularly shit hot today. Now I know he offers more than just scoring, but he hasn't scored. He's scored 1 goal in 16 games or something shocking. So I don't know. He's not in my starting 11 by any stretch of my means. But listen, we have to rotate and alternate every now and then. So but yeah, Henderson for me, I wasn't too impressed, and I don't want him starting against Inter. That's for sure.
One thing that is unquestionable, Carl, now that we've got everybody back from injuries and stuff, is the squad depth is finally starting to show through and look really promising as we come into the money end of the season, obviously with the League Cup final coming up again at the end of the month against Chelsea. So that's a bonus.
Oh, God, yeah. I mean, when was the last time we could say, we were kind of stressing about who we were subbing on? At least in my live stream, we're talking about is Thiago coming on? We subbing on Elliott, Jones, whatever the case may be. But I agree 100% with Paddy that I don't want to see Hendo start against Inter. I mean, shoot, we even saw James Milner come on at the end of the game today just to kind of close it out in the midfield. But I think Thiago, you saw when he came on, literally I think maybe his second touch of the game, he tried to send Salah away down that far side or that near side. And he just had something different. I think Thiago should definitely start. But the squad depth is a good problem to have, especially like you said, going into the big money part of the season when we need the squad depth. We're still in every single competition. We're going to have to rotate. We really can't afford to have any players out right now. And I think we used up all of our injuries last season, knock on wood. So I think it's about time that we have the depth that we've been so craving, especially now with Luis Diaz up in the front line.
Yeah, I mean, no spot on the bench today for Curtis Jones, no spot on the bench today for Kumi Minamino. That just goes to show the squad depth, Paddy. I want to ask you guys, and come to you first, Paddy, about the penalty incident in the first half, because I don't know in what world that wasn't a penalty. I don't know if it was the delayed reaction from Mo, but I'm telling the way I look at these, Paddy, is if that's on the halfway line, that's a free kick every day of the week, and I think that was a nailed-on penalty.
Well, yeah, for me on that one, I think it is the delayed reaction that ruins it. I feel like if he goes straight down and the momentum of that challenge brings him down, then I'm all for it being a penalty. But it was a delayed reaction, and so for me, that rules it out as a penalty. He does take him out, but yeah, I think he just delayed a reaction, simple as that. I think that's probably what the officials looked at there, and they seen that contact from Weghorst wasn't what made Salah go down,
And for yourself, Kyle, what was your take on it?
To be honest with you, right off the bat, I didn't think it was a penalty. I thought Salah's the ugliest flopper anyway. He's so delayed. Yeah. He's just so uncoordinated when he flops. It doesn't even make it look believable half the time. He kind of throws his arms up and his hands halfway in the sleeve anyway, so it just looks weird. But I honestly glanced at it. I was like, I don't think that's a penalty. But I'd have to go back and watch it again because I just glanced at it the first time, didn't watch the replay. So, but again, that's just off the dome. Not a penalty for me.
One of the biggest critiques, Paddy, we often have of the manager is the substitutions. For me, I think he got the areas of the pitch right today. He made the substitutions in. What are your take on that? I mean, obviously, we all would have loved to see Luis Diaz and Harry Elliott, but I can understand why they weren't brought on today.
Yeah, I feel like he got them pretty spot on. I feel like it's subjective to what's going on in the game. Had we been trailing, losing, I feel like you see both Luis Diaz and Harvey Elliott because they're two superb people to be bringing on. But when we're already winning at Turf Moor, it's all about securing the victory. So I was happy enough. But yeah, Luis Diaz is my man. He is. I just think he's different gravy, and I hope him not starting today means he gets a cheeky start against Inter, which I don't think he will, in all honesty, because I just feel like it'll be a big test. But I hope so. But as I said, the squad depth is it's a luxury right now.
I want to just take a second, Kyle, to just glow and gloss and brag and enjoy Alisson Becker and just speak about the god that is the Brazilian keeper back to El Matador, as I want to call him now, after sending Rodriguez the wrong way twice. I fucking love this man.
He's so good in one-on-one situations and even on just normal shots. I mean, he's a great shot stopper, but he still scares me, man, when he comes out of his box and he's just in the middle of the field. Today he had that one, I think it was Rodriguez, where he was just defending off Rodriguez, waiting for someone to help, just sending him the wrong way a few times. I think you were mentioning it. Just kicked it out of bounds. It's like, what keeper are you going to see do that? It scares the hell out of me, but I'm glad that he can do it. And just touching on what someone said in the chat here, saying I look like Dave Portnoy. If I look like Dave Portnoy and Nat Phillips, I'm winning. I'm winning. So that's what everyone keeps saying. So I'm going to take it. But dude, Alisson Becker's the greatest keeper in the world. I don't care what anyone says. He's so freaking good.
Paddy, if you're a young keeper watching Alisson, I mean, there's so much to learn, but what he always gets right for me is he forces the attacker into making the decision. He doesn't give him any easy choices.
Yeah, for sure. And I feel like with the high line that Liverpool deploy, like he has to come out in the situations like that a lot of the times. He's just fantastic. He had a couple of dodgy enough moments last year. But there was a lot going on in his personal life. It was a bad old time for Liverpool in general. But it's great to see him back to his best. And yeah, he's just the epitome of the perfect goalkeeper. He's by far the best goalkeeper and most complete goalkeeper in the league for me, if not the world. And we're lucky to have him. That's a place we struggled with for many years with big Simon Mignolet and Karius and bloody Adrian, but just thank God for the holy goalie.
And again, for players picking it up, another clean sheet, Kyle, Virgil van Dijk looks like he's getting back to his imperious best as well. That's 2 top-notch performances in a row there from Virgil, and Matip today as well, keeping another clean sheet.
God, he's just a unit, isn't he? Just shoving people off, not even giving anyone a chance to head the ball. Matip had a few shaky moments in the first half, but overall, man, Matip just doesn't get, I don't think he gets the respect he deserves, mainly because he's playing next to Van Dijk. I just think those two are the perfect partnership. Tall, strong, Matip stretching his legs a little bit today, not pushing too far forward, but one of these days, man, I think Matip's going to get a goal. I love Van Dijk. I love Van Dijk. I think when Van Dijk's in the team, we always stand a chance to get a clean sheet, and not only that, but win the match. So credit to both of them today.
Real quick, gents, looking around the other results today, a big win for Newcastle, Paddy, at the other end of the table. And Spurs going full on Spurs at home to Wolves. Another 3 points dropped today after 3 points dropped against Southampton. Nobody wants Champions League football, Paddy. Nobody.
Yeah, I always said Newcastle were going to stay up for me, even when Steve Bruce was there. I just feel there's a lot too many good quality players, but yeah, they're doing well. They've signed a gem in Trippier. Sorry to see Gerrard lose, so hopefully he can get back to winning ways. But yeah, Tottenham again, strange one. The top 4 race is really something. And I feel like there's a danger of even Chelsea could maybe drop into that again. They're not necessarily clear for me. I don't know. I'd like to see West Ham do it, to be honest. I mean, if somehow Villa could do it out of a mad run, maybe that'd be great. But realistically, I'd like to see West Ham do it.
Yeah, I was fully on board the West Ham bus, Kyle, until morally bankrupt FC kept picking Kurt Zouma, and then I lost all respect.
Yeah, it was the cat thing, right? They started him after kicking the cat. Yeah, and not to get too involved in that. I think West Ham overall, I think they might be the team that deserved the top 4 spot. But yeah, like Paddy said, the race for top 4 is pretty crazy. Man United are falling apart. Tottenham they can't figure it out. Who knows what's going on over there? And I think Tottenham actually have a solid squad. I mean, in all honesty, they should, in theory, be right where Arsenal is, but they have a lot of games in hand too. So again, we got to look at the table. A lot of teams still have 2, 3, sometimes 4 games in hand. So that's something to keep in mind. But again, towards the end of the season, you got a new manager. You should have figured it out by now, but who knows? Who knows what's going on with Tottenham, man? They're just, oh God, it's crazy.
They do have 2 games in hand, to be fair to them, actually.
They're
a lot of teams have games in hand.
Yeah, they had 4 at one point, and they're after absolutely dropping 6 points in this week alone, losing at home to Southampton 3-2, and then losing today at home again.
Yeah,
the Wolves are putting together a bit of a run, Paddy, under Bruno Lage. Certainly a more attack-minded team than we've seen under Nuno.
Yeah, well, 4 wins out of the last 5, for sure. I think Nuno is arguably one of the most overrated managers that's ever been in the league. Like, I don't know how he even got the Tottenham job. He was about 77 choice. But yeah, they're quietly doing a lot of good work there. Obviously, him being Portuguese again helps with all that link. Jose Sa is probably one of the most underrated players in the league this year in goal for them. He has been absolutely imperious. He was unbelievable against Liverpool specifically at the Molyneux. But yeah, Wolves, yeah, we don't mind Wolves. They're quietly going about their business, one of those where it's probably good they don't have the attention because they can just focus on being themselves,
Let's cast our eyes, gents, towards Wednesday for a second. Another massive Champions League night, Kyle. This time, first leg away against Inter Milan, who are coming off the back of a 1-1 draw against Napoli in Serie A. They currently sit top of the Italian league, but I'm not worried, Kyle. I'm not at all worried, mate. I think we have their number.
Dude, there's no messing around in this Champions League. We can legit win everything this season. We have way too good of a squad to even be contemplating not going through to the next round. I know it's Inter. I know they're very solid. But again, in Europe, I mean, we need to be fired up for this game. If we play even remotely like we did today in the Champions League, there's a problem. Like, we need to go in there firing. So in that essence, I'm a little worried just based on the performance today. But Liverpool in Europe, we always seem to turn it up in Europe. Unless Adrian's in goal, then we have a different problem. But I think we'll be all right. I think
they're missing a few players as well, Paddy. I think Bastoni may be out. I know Barella suspended for the first leg. I think there's a couple more as well. So could be a good time to play them.
Yeah, listen, I'm confident we'll win. However, I do have my worries about Inter Milan. I think we there's a danger of maybe overlooking them. They're a very staunch defensive unit, and Inzaghi's got them playing some good ball. They're the recent champions. They're still top of the league. The Serie A isn't what it once was, of course, but we can't. They're at the San Siro. We can't forget how much of a fortress that is. Unless I know there's some discrepancies about like the whole COVID stuff, and at least I'm sure it is in the San Siro. But yeah, we should win. And it's just the team selection is going to be very key. I'm really intrigued to see who Klopp goes with. And as I said, I'm hoping for my boy Luis Diaz to get a start. But yeah, no, we should be beating them. And listen, I'd take a draw now and bring it back to Anfield.
On this, so Gunther asks, what makes me so confident? I watch them a lot, and they're a very well balanced, oiled machine, but they don't have the tools, I don't think, or the pace to cause us enough trouble. They're very proficient, good technical players, but just I don't think they have the spark. I think we'll easily read them. I think we'll take care of Dzeko handy enough. Lautaro Martinez, yeah, look, he can be a problem. I just don't see how. I don't think they have the tools to get at us. I just don't. And other than maybe a penalty or a red card in it, I just don't see how they beat us. I really don't. And look, I'll die on this hill. I will, because I think we're just a better team. But I'll tell you what, though, Kyle, Tuesday night, we're going to see one of PSG or Real Madrid go out in this round. Obviously, first leg on Tuesday, but wow, that's a big time, for a last 16.
Thank God. I hope it's PSG. I cannot stand PSG with every bone in my body. I hate that club. But I also hate Madrid. So it's a win-win. So I think going back to the Inter thing, I feel like the only way that I would feel not confident going into the match would be as if we saw like a Milner, Hendo, midfield. Like, I don't want to see. I honestly would want to see maybe Thiago, Fabinho, Keita. Maybe something like that. I want to see Thiago and Fabinho in there, no question. But Klopp, I mean, every once in a while he'll just go with something really secure where there's no creativity in the midfield, and then we struggle. But I think he's learned from his mistakes. I think that we have the ability to rotate now, and Klopp will go with a firing squad, trying to get that away goal. And I'm like Paddy said, I'll take a draw, but I really want an away goal. So I'll take like a 1-1. I don't want a 0-0. I don't want to give them the chance to get one back at Anfield. I'd love it. The away goal is gone now, right?
Yeah, no away goal.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So it doesn't even matter. So yeah, I'd definitely take a draw.
I don't know, Paddy. I have a sneaking suspicion we're going to see 4 attackers start for Klopp away. It goes against everything we normally do, and I think what Kyle said is usually right. I would have expected to see Hendo straight back in that midfield for an away European game, but with the tools at his disposal, mate, I'd have a sneaky feeling we might see 4 attackers, and I think we may see Bobby deployed in an attacking midfield role. Just a guess, absolutely nothing to base it on.
Wouldn't say no to that at all. I would not say no to that at all. You know, as long as the 2 midfielders would be a 4-2-3-1 sort of thing, I'd imagine. Yeah, Fabinho and Thiago, Bobby, Diaz, Salah, Jota for me would be fantastic. There's a lot of interesting choice to be made. I feel like Thiago is a nailed on. I think should be the first name on the team sheet for this game. He is like the maestro. You know, he is just fantastic. And the fact that he didn't start today probably would indicate that. But yeah, listen. I think any sort of variation of a 4 attack or a 3 attack, once you get the personnel right, I think you're laughing.
I think there's still a few people in the chat that think I'm deluded about Inter Milan, by the way. But, you know, ask yourself this. What the fuck has any team done in the Champions League from Italy in recent history? Nothing. Because the league is on its arse. It isn't anywhere near as effective a league as it was. So, as I said, I will die on this hill. But, Kyle, I want to ask you about the Premier League race. Confident that we can get back in and haul in Manchester City? We're now 9 points ahead, although we do have a game in hand. So, let's assume we win that game against Leeds. That would bring us to 57. To me, the game at the Etihad then will be massive.
Oh, yeah, it was always going to be massive. I do feel more confident with the game in hand. But really, all we can do is go forward and just win not every match with the mindset we need to go in with. Because we can't really expect Man City to drop points. Like, we having that mindset, we need to focus on what we're able to do. Looking at the schedule, the remaining schedule too, we play, I think every team we play is this. Man City plays the same exact team with the exception of 2 matches, I think. So it's pretty even going in. And then if we're able to win the game in hand, maybe somewhere along the line, Man City draw, and then we're able to pull away with 3 points at the Etihad. This is anyone's game. It does kind of suck that we were 12 points back at one point, but again, this is what makes it exciting. That's why today, pulling away, even though we played horribly, we're able to get the 3 points. That's what you got to do if you want to stay in the title race.
And for yourself, Paddy, you've been driving the quadruple bus for a while. Are we still on the quadruple?
Listen, yeah, well, I mean, the Premier League is the least likely of all the 4. I reckon genuinely we can get a solid 3 and minimum 2. The league is just like, the law of averages will predict it'll be Man City that they are going to probably get into another one of them grooves. It's very much in their hands, But if you keep winning with them up until the City game in Manchester, win that, which is a big if. Like, there's no gimme at all with that. But if you can get to that game and then win that can alter things completely. Whoever wins that game, or like if Liverpool don't win, then it's completely finished, regardless of the other situation. It's possible, unlikely, but listen, while it's still feasible, I'm gonna cry quadruple.
Well, one thing we do know, Kyle, is that Jurgen Klopp and those boys won't be giving up. They will fight till it's mathematically impossible.
No, I mean, isn't this the first time under Klopp that we're still in all the competitions at this point in the year? I mean, these boys, I think they want it all, and they have the talent to win it all. Like we were talking about earlier in the show, the depth gives us that ability to rotate in these other competitions, and we've been doing well. Again, I agree with Paddy. The least likely is the Premier League. Mathematically, of course, we still stand a chance, but I really do think that obviously we're in the final Carabao Cup. We're still moving on in the FA Cup and Champions League, man. That's the biggest one for me. I think that we genuinely are probably the best team in that competition this year. Aside from maybe some of the other top teams, Munich and stuff like that. But, that's what I want to see. I want to see them battle to the very end. Don't give up. Don't have a horseshit game in one of these rounds where we just, beat ourselves. That's all I can expect, and so far this season, that's what I've seen. So I'm really confident going forward.
Right, Paddy, let's have a quick guess before we finish up at the 11 to take the pitch at I think Giuseppe Meazza. I think that's what it's called when interplay there on Wednesday. So I expect probably an unchanged back 4. Would we agree with that?
Agreed. Yeah. There's what I think will happen and what I want to happen. But yeah, unchanged back 4, midfield 3 of Fabinho, Thiago, and Henderson, and then a front 3. I think he'll go Salah, Jota, Mane. However, I would be dropping Henderson for Keita or Elliott, and I'd be dropping Mane for Diaz, and then that would be me happy. But I feel like the first one is what we'll see.
I feel, Kyle, that what Paddy said with the first 11 there with Henderson could well happen, but I'm going to go bold and predict that he goes with 4 attackers. So I'm going to swap out Henderson for Fabinho and go with Jota. I think you play Mane in the left and Salah on the right.
And so who's your midfield then? 4 attackers, you said?
Thiago Fabinho.
Thiago Fabinho. I just don't think he's going to change it up now. I don't think I've seen that. I don't even know if he's done that all season. I agree with what Paddy was saying. Most likely seeing Hendo or Keita in that midfield spot. You got to go Thiago and Fabinho. I think Jota starts in the center forward role with Mane and Salah out wide, standard back 5. Maybe Konate gets rotated in, but I doubt it. I think Matip will play. And I think Luis Diaz gets subbed on. Maybe you'll see some rotation with Hendo or Thiago, like I was saying before. But again, I would start Keita just based on what I saw today. I just didn't think Hendo had it today. I thought Keita was okay. And again, if Keita's healthy, I feel like Keita's just a solid option in that midfield. I really do. And Thiago Fabinho, you can't go wrong.
And last thing, gents, before we finish up, just a quick word on our new boy, Luis Diaz. First week at the football club. I mean, I can only imagine, Paddy, from a personal perspective for him, what a mental week this must have been with the flights, the media duties, opening or having his debut at Anfield, setting up a goal. And I don't care about that Jota assist. That was his assist, and I'll die on that hill as well. But yeah, just a few words on him, mate, and what you think we have to look forward to with this box of tricks.
He is simply phenomenal. He is unbelievable. His cameo against Cardiff was sublime, and he was arguably the man of the match against Leicester, to be honest. Like up there, second or third. Everything but the goal. I had the pleasure of watching him down the left-hand side, right up close, and wow, he's just fantastic. And I've never been more sure of a player that's going to succeed. You know, we've signed players like Jota who didn't necessarily, like, we weren't all wondering straight away. Same with Salah. I think he is just going to be unbelievable, and I do think come the end of the season, he will have established himself as the main man, because I feel like he'll just outperform Sadio. Sadio still has a lot to offer, but I just feel like in a head-to-head, I'll prefer Luis Diaz right now. People might think it's a bit harsh to say that, but I'm just a visionary. You see, I'm ahead of the curve. In a month's time, you'll all be saying, yeah, no, it's time for Mane to be dropped and Diaz to be started. A bit like with the Costas Robbo stuff, but the difference was Robbo proved himself to be the better of the two, and he came on leaps and bounds. I just think that Luis Diaz has that guile, the aggression, the mentality needed, and he's going to just go on leaps and bounds. And I'm so excited to see what he can do for us for the rest of the year.
Yeah, I think Kyle, we're in for a good time watching Luis Diaz at Liverpool Football Club.
Oh yeah. Based on what we see, Chris was saying Bowen's on fire. I think that was a little bit of a slight there to Luis Diaz. But again, I think Luis Diaz, from what I saw, he's just energetic. He could have been nervous. He could have been, not stingy. He could have been stiff. Came on though against Leicester, energetic. I mean, the guy's just flying down the wing. I would have loved to see him in person. I mean, it's probably a different animal in person, but he can definitely become challenging Mane for that starting spot, especially if Mane's not on it. I mean, Klopp won't hesitate to put Luis Diaz in there. That's why he got a player of Luis Diaz's caliber and not like a Jeremy Doku or something like that. He wants a player he can put in, and that's just going to be energetic. That's going to take on defenders. That's going to get into the box, create chances, has a little bit of finesse to get around on the line and put in that assist. I agree. I think it was his assist. Jota, that was an accidental touch. Luis Diaz is that guy. And he's only 25 years old. This guy's just entering his prime. This guy can become one of the best wingers in the world.
Yeah, we've got two phenomenal 25-year-old attackers that have come into the club in Diogo Jota and Luis Diaz. And yes, the future certainly looks bright. And it's about time that those front three had some questions asked of them, because they've been so good for so long, and they've only had Origi and Minamino and that to challenge them. And I think now that 5 attacking players that we have, Mane, Firmino, Mo, Sadio and Jota, wow, or Diaz, excuse me. I think I overtake 2 of them there. Unbelievable. I'm so excited. And I agree. I think, by the way, Mane goes at the end of the season. I've spoke about this a lot. It doesn't look like he's going to be even offered a contract yet as things currently stand. And when we hear Milner maybe getting a new deal, and Milner's on 140 G's a week at the minute, and Mane's on 100 grand, I've got to say, I can also understand why Mane might be a little bit annoyed. But I don't want to end on a positive. So look, it's another 3 points. we move on. Champions League night coming up on Wednesday. Want to give a massive shout out to Kyle and the guys over at Nothing But Reds. Please make sure that you go over, check the guys out. You did your Sunday show today, Kyle, before the game. Is that right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Pre-match Sunday show. We looked at the new kit leaks. I'd be interested to get you guys' thoughts on that, but we can save that for another time. Look at that. And yeah, I appreciate you guys having me on as always. Always a good chat.
I get 0-5 vibes off that collar of the new league kit.
I hate the collar.
I hate it as well. Hate it.
But I love the sleeves.
I think it doesn't help how it's been photoed. I feel like that's a big looking jersey, but once it's fitted and on the players, I think it'll look a lot better. I like for a home kit, there's only so much they can do. I like the basicness of it. I'm not too mad against it. I like the little embroidery on the side that looks like you never walk alone, but also all looks like DNA. So whoever designed that, hats off to you. Yeah, I'm not too mad about it. As look at that beautiful kit Kyle has on. If we can get a away kit anywhere near that good, I think we'll all be laughing too.
This is the sexiest kit I think I've ever seen. Like it's the away kit, at least. It's so nice.
C'est magnifique.
Yeah, there's the new rumored home shirt right there. It's not the worst looking thing. I just don't like the collar. The collar just looks like
and again, I like the simplicity of it, but again, the collar is what throws it off for me. I don't like that it like flattens out near the front of the neck, and I don't like that.
It looks like it'll be fat friendly, so I'm happy.
I was thinking a very similar thing when I looked at it, Paddy, as well. I was thinking I might get away with that one. Maybe we'll go for that shirt. Look, gents, I'm going to call it there. Thank you to everybody for joining us. Thank you to Paddy Murphy. Thank you to Kyle from Nothing But Reds. Thank you to our sponsors, Surfshark, as well. Don't forget, you can get 83% off an annual subscription and 3 months additional free with the code Anfield Agenda at checkout or the link in the description. We roll on to Wednesday night, another Champions League game. Enjoy the Super Bowl tonight if anybody's watching it. I know I certainly will be, and I know Kyle will be as well. But look, we move on. 3 points in the bank. We don't argue about wins. Thank you to Paddy. Thank you to Kyle. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.